So when you're going through this process, sometimes you have to factor out the denominator first to find the least common denominator. And so here's an example. Right. Let me go ahead and complete this on a new page. So what do we have here? We have a couple of denominators, right? We have x plus 3, we have x squared plus 6x plus 9, and we have a denominator of 1 over here, right? Because there's 1 over 1. So I have my x plus 3 as one of my denominators. I have x squared plus 6x plus 9 is another denominator, and I have a 1. We could ignore the 1. Who cares about that one? Right? But here, this is messy, because if we wanted to get the least common denominator, we would need to multiply these two together. Right? That's pretty messy. So why don't we instead first factor out this one, and we know how to factor that one out using the x method. So I'm going to use the x method. It's a times c is 9 up here, a 6 in the bottom. And then what two numbers multiply to 9 add up to 6? That's 3 and 3. So we know that this quadratic expression factors out to x plus 3 times x plus 3. Right? So now we have a more manageable list of factors in the denominator. So let's say LCD, we got the denominators are x plus 3 and then x plus 3 times x plus 3. So what's the least common denominator, right? If we're looking at these two, it would be x plus 3 times x plus 3. So x plus 3 plus x plus 3 times x plus 3 is here, and x plus 3 is here, right? So this is our lowest common denominator. All right, so we found it. Now what do we do? Now we multiply both sides of the equal sign by that lowest common denominator. So let's go ahead and do that now. It's going to be x plus 3 times x plus 3 times 3 over x plus 3 plus 4 over, and now I'm going to write this denominator here, this one, as its factors, as x plus 3 times x plus 3, and then I'm going to say is equal to 1. I'm just going to put it all together, right? And then I'm going to distribute out to every term in the equal sign. Right? So now what are we going to do? So let's go ahead and multiply it out. So in the numerator here we got 3 times this expression. So it's going to be 3 times x plus 3 times x plus 3 over x plus 3. And then we do a plus sign. And we multiply here, so it's going to be 4 times x plus 3 times x plus 3 over x plus 3 times x plus 3. And then that's equal to, and now we're going to distribute out here. So we get x plus 3 times x plus 3. All right, now we look for common factors we can cancel out in the numerator and denominator of each term. So we have an x plus 3 here and there. Those cancel out. We got an x plus 3 here and there, and another one here and there. Those cancel out. So let's rewrite our equation. It's going to be 3 times x plus 3 plus 4 is equal to x plus 3 times x plus 3. All right. So now what? Well, we'll simplify by distributing out. So we get 3x plus 9 plus 4 is equal to, and I'm going to FOIL this out. So I get x squared plus 6x plus 9. All right, so now what are we going to do? Well, we have a quadratic expression on the right side, so we're going to move all of this over and have it set equal to 0, factor, and solve for x, right? So I'm going to minus 3x, I'm going to minus 9, minus 4. So I minus 3x, minus 9, and minus 4, right? And what do we get? We'll get 0 on the left side. We'll get x squared plus 3x. And then over here it's going to be negative 4. All right, how do we solve for x? We know how to solve for x. We're going to use an x. I'll say a times c is negative 4. B in the bottom. Two numbers that multiply to negative 4 add up to 3. It's going to be, so that's going to be a 4 and a 1. And my 1 is going to be negative, right? Multiply to negative 4, add to positive 3. And so now I could rewrite this as its factors. So it's going to be x plus 4 times x minus 1, like so. And now how do I solve for x? Well, I set each of these factors equal to 0 using the zero product property. So I get x plus 4 is equal to 0. I got x minus 1 is equal to 0. Minus 4 on both sides, and I get x is equal to negative 4. I add 1 on both sides, and I get x is equal to 1. All right, and so these are my two answers here. So that's how we get x is equal to 1 or negative 4.